7 Day Sports TV here. Shout out to the LDBC, Lions Den Boxing Community. For those who don't know, now you know. Make sure you guys go and check out the Smoke City Mobcast. I repeat, the Smoke City Mobcast right here on YouTube. Every Wednesday night, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, the LDBC gets together and does our hangouts on that channel. So make sure you go and subscribe today. Also, check out www.ldbcsports.com. That is the official LDBC website. All right, let's talk about this heavyweight division, shall we? The WBC heavyweight champion of the world, Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder, promises to get into the ring, be in the building, and challenge Anthony Joshua face-to-face after Joshua versus Parker. This is great news, okay? Anthony Joshua taking on Joseph Parker is a good fight, a unification match, a fight that many boxing fans want to see. You know, it brings us one step closer to having the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Deontay Wilder, having the other WBC title, okay? Now, in order for this to go well, in order for this to go as planned, for Deontay Wilder to challenge Joshua face-to-face, everything has to go as planned. Deontay Wilder has to get past Luis Ortiz, who's a very dangerous opponent. The least you can rank Ortiz is top 5 heavyweight in the world, but I personally believe he's top 3 heavyweight in the world. But even if you want to name him top 5 heavyweight in the world, Luis Ortiz is still an undefeated, dangerous fighter from Cuba. Knockout artist as well. Nobody wants to give this guy a title shot, even so much that the WBA, who Luis Ortiz was ranked as the mandatory challenger for Anthony Joshua, the WBA kicked Luis Ortiz out of their rankings. They gave him the boot because Luis Ortiz failed a drug test for the WBC. All right, the WBC gave Luis Ortiz a pass once they found out that Ortiz had a prescription for his high blood pressure medication. The WBA, having nothing to do with this, decided to intervene and remove Ortiz as the mandatory, blocking him from a potential fight with Anthony Joshua. Okay. However, the WBA is giving a habitual steroid cheat in Alexander Povetkin the WBA mandatory slot. So it's interesting to me how the WBA can stand on some principles and say, hey, we're getting rid of Ortiz. We're tired of these drug allegations and failing drug tests. Meanwhile, they give Alexander Povetkin the mandatory slot. Nobody's calling the WBA out on that. I think it's very hypocritical, and there needs to be some type of investigation as to why they did that. Now, Deontay Wilder, who does not owe Luis Ortiz anything, all right, is offering Luis Ortiz a shot, another shot, a second shot at this title. The first one, Ortiz messed up by not filling out his paperwork correctly and not reporting his high blood pressure medications, all right? But now, this second opportunity Ortiz is getting at Deontay Wilder, Wilder should be commended. He should be commended for stepping up to face a dangerous opponent like this when he didn't have to. He could have fought anybody, okay? But he's fighting this guy who nobody has a recipe to defeat yet. There is no blueprint out. There is no examples out there of how to beat Luis Ortiz. And Deontay Wilder is planning on delivering that, all right, come March 3rd in New York. Deontay Wilder, I'm hoping for a vicious, savage knockout of Luis Ortiz. All right? I'm hoping he destroys Luis Ortiz and keep that momentum moving going forward so that we can see Wilder get into that ring and challenge Anthony Joshua. I'm hoping for Anthony Joshua to defeat Joseph Parker as well, because the main fight that I want to see is Wilder versus Joshua. Now, if Joshua loses to Parker, Wilder versus Parker can still happen, but it won't happen right away because Joshua has a rematch clause, which is why it would be better for Joshua to defeat Parker. You know what I mean? Also, a few other things that concern me is that I want to know how Wilder is going to be treated in the UK. If Wilder is planning on getting into the ring and challenging Joshua face-to-face to a fight, all right, for total undisputed, one fight for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. If Wilder's planning on doing that, then I hope that he receives good hospitality over in the UK. Because when Wilder went over there for Joshua versus Klitschko, I did not like how I felt that a lot of the media, the British media, was downplaying Deontay Wilder. I thought Anthony Joshua, he didn't even want to mention Deontay Wilder's name. He's talking about Tyson Fury and all this other stuff. When you know this heavyweight champion from America came over across the pond to see you perform and support you in the heavyweight division, and you ignored him. Okay? I don't like that, so I hope that when Wilder gets over there, that Eddie Hearn and everybody is understanding that Wilder wants to get into the ring and challenge him. I hope they do not try to keep him from getting in the ring and ignore him or any of this bullshit. We want to see this. The fans deserve at least to see that face-off, you know what I mean, and see these guys do a little trash talking to each other and see what happens, you know what I mean. See if we can broker a deal. You know, give these guys a chance to size each other up, you know, and see if there's fear there or if there's no fear there. You understand? That's what the fans deserve. You know what I mean? Now, Wilder, if he knocks out Ortiz, Johnny Nelson says it makes the Joshua fight even bigger. Of course it does. If Wilder knocks out Ortiz, because like I said, there's no blueprint on beating Ortiz. This is Ortiz is the most fucking avoided heavyweight out there. Y'all know this. Nobody wants to fight this guy. Wilder's stepping up to fight him. All right, he going out of his way to fight this guy. All right. Now, I don't want to hear no crap from Eddie Hearn. If Wilder knocks out Ortiz and Joshua beats Parker, that's one fight for total heavyweight dominance. One fight. So that we can say we have the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. The baddest man on the planet is A or B, right? One fight. So I don't want to hear Eddie Hearn putting up no more obstacles for Deontay Wilder or for this fight not to happen. I don't want to see Hearn after that happens say, oh, well, I would like for Wilder to fight Dillian White. Or, you know, like, get the fuck out of here, man. We got time for that. We got time for Dillian White later, right? But what needs to happen is to establish an undisputed champion. We got to do that, right? There's no need to prolong this dumb shit, okay? There's no need to prolong this. Just get this shit over with. Get this shit out the way, all right? Everybody's so focused on, oh, this fight needs to build. It'll be huge. It'll be a huge fight if they build. Let it build. What happened to guys fighting trilogies? Why is that what happened to that in boxing? You know what I mean? Wilder and Joshua can fight now, okay? Should they both get past their respective opponents. They can fight now, right? And they can have a fucking rematch, all right? Let's say Wilder, hypothetically, right? This is all hypothetically. Let's say Wilder knocks out Joshua. Let's say there's a rematch. Joshua comes back, knocks out Wilder, right? Now that third fight, right, is set up for these guys to make ridiculous money. Ridiculous money. You know what I mean? If you care about shit like that. If you care about money and how much money they're going to make and the fight needs to build and all this stuff. If you care about all that, a trilogy is where the money is for these guys. Okay? That's where it is. You know, they don't have to stall the first fight out for, like, you know, they don't have to stall that first fight out for years and years to make all the money. They can fight 3 fucking times. You know, increase their profile, leave us fans with memorable moments in boxing history from those 3 fights. You know what I mean? All that's possible. All that can be done. You know? Now, I've heard other stories like, you know, if Joshua beats Parker, then Eddie Hearn is looking at Alexander Povetkin versus Joshua, okay, to defend the WBA belt. They should make Povetkin wait. I'm sorry, Povetkin, listen, this is a fucking career cheater. This man has, y'all talk about Ortiz, Povetkin has been caught so boldly taking performance enhancement drugs. It's ridiculous. All right? It's just absolutely ridiculous that this guy continues to get caught with banned substances in his system, and the boxing world gives this guy a pass. They still rank him high. Boxing websites, boxing pundits still talk about him as if he's one of the best heavyweights out there when the man is a career cheater. All right? So why would you give this man an opportunity before Deontay Wilder? Forget about his ranking. The WBA is not going to strip Anthony Joshua. You know that. I know that. The whole world knows that. If Anthony Joshua, after defeating Parker, says, hey, I want Deontay Wilder next, I want one fight, it's one fight to be undisputed, that's the fight I want. You think who thinks the WBA is going to say, nope, you have to fight Povetkin, or we're stripping you? Nobody. You think the WBA is going to take that them huge sanctioning fees away from Joshua and say, oh no, let's give it to Povetkin. We'll take Povetkin sanctioning fees. We don't want the Joshua sanctioning fees. Do you really think that's going to happen? Absolutely not. So the only thing stopping Deontay Wilder from Anthony Joshua fight happening is the one promoter that's in the way, and that's Eddie Hearn. When Eddie Hearn is willing to make that fight happen, that fight can happen. Now, I understand that Eddie Hearn has a lot of fans. You know, he's a celebrity, got a lot of fans on YouTube and on the social media, and people protect him, and, you know, everything he say is golden. You know what I mean? Until he get caught in a contradiction, and then people make excuses for that. You know? But this all comes down to Eddie Hearn, right? He's trying to milk this fight and stretch it out so it can be a huge event. I understand business. I understand what he's trying to do, but it's not necessary when you have these guys in heavyweight history. These guys can fight trilogies. They can have more than one fight. It's not necessary to try to get all your money, steal all the money from one fight. It's not necessary. So anyway, those are my thoughts on the matter. Y'all let me know what y'all think. 70 Sports TV. Shout out to the LDBC, and I holla.